Good evening, everyone. When the British International School invited me back to present the Technomania Award for Academic Excellence, which was presented in terms 1 and 2, I assumed there had been some administrative mistake. But after all, it feels like yesterday that I was sitting where the class of 2026 is sitting now, worrying about deadlines, exams, university applications, personal statements, and wondering whether everything would somehow work out in the end. And today, standing here as an alumnus, and in a sense an older brother, I can tell you that indeed bloody well damn does. What makes BIS special is not merely the results. Quite frankly, yes, our results are extraordinary, but they are only a part of the narrative, a part of the story. It would not be fair to talk remotely about how special BIS was without mentioning my one and only Mr. Nicola and the iconic Paris and Rome school trips, concluded emotionally with a graduating cohort playing love songs, with a sunset making it akin to a scene straight out of a Hollywood movie as we were driving from one coastal town in Italy to another. This year alone, students from this generation are heading to some of the finest, most prestigious universities in the world. We have future historians, economists, lawyers, engineers, doctors, mathematicians, artists, architects, business leaders, and scientists among us in our midst. Some are going to London, some to the Netherlands, some to Austria, some to the United States of America, some to places they could only dream about a few years back. But what impresses me most profoundly is not where they are going. It is who they have become. Because behind every university offer is a story of staying up late to finish a piece of coursework, a story of preparing for Oxbridge or Imperial interviews, a story of overcoming disappointment, a story of resilience, unwavering resilience, and a story of brilliant teachers who believed in their students every step of the way, and a story of parents who supported them, and a story of students who refused to give up. And yes, they potentially lied on their CV for the greater good, because, as Niccolo Machiavelli would argue, any means could be employed to justify meeting your ends. Remember that improvisation and adaptation are sometimes the only way to succeed. I would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful teachers of BIS, most notably my amazing Mr. and Miss Pujevic, who have heroically educated fantastically yet another brilliant generation of mathematicians and physicists, and above all, made them hardworking, moral, and intellectual giants who were made better people, and their lives were infinitely enhanced and made better in the marvelous, legendary maths and physics classroom. Miss Jelena Živković, with her academically rigorous yet warm approach, filled with top-tier pastoral care to university applications and deepening love for history. The legendary business and economics tandem of Mr. Đurđević and Ms. Petrovic, who are preparing us for love and success in the vast and endlessly fascinating adult world. And of course, the lovely modern foreign language teachers. My amazing Miss Natasha, Miss Nela, and Miss Milica, as well as Miss Anna, with their examination results speaking for themselves. And with great honor and pleasure, my dear Mr. Nicola, who was always supporting our academics with world-class physical education and school trips of a lifetime that cannot be retold in a story, but have to be lived through absolutely. I would also like to thank the Kiserovic family for the warm invitation, and Miss Anna and Mr. Fox for all English analysis. Thanks to Miss Surushka for all the art she brings into our lives, Sinisha for keeping us safe, and the cleaning ladies for their unwavering smiles. Last but not least, the Office Trio Fantastico for the hard work behind the scenes. Ultimately, as do we say in this morally and culturally prestigious land of Tsar Lazar, the monasteries of Kosovo and Tsar Dušan, Rad is spelled inversely as Dar, R-A-D, D-A-R. Therefore, there is no gift without unwavering commitment and putting 101% of ourselves and blood, toil, tears and sweat into what we believe is morally worth the struggle and what we want to achieve. As students, we do not often fully appreciate what teachers do for us until years later. The lessons stay with us beyond the mere constraints of the walls of the classroom. The advice stays with us. The encouragement stays with us. And sometimes a single conversation changes the direction of someone's life. Like conversations with Mr. and Ms. Kvrgic and Ms. Jelena Živković and all the other exceptional educators within this reputable teaching institution that deepened our love for these endlessly fascinating academic fields. Many members of this graduating class have been supported not only academically, but personally through some of the most important years of their lives. For that, the BIS staff deserve enormous gratitude and recognition. I would also like to thank the parents and the families. Tonight is your celebration too. Every early morning, every sports day, every school run, every piece of encouragement before an important examination, every sacrifice made behind the scenes has helped bring these students to this moment. Class of 2026, you should be incredibly proud of yourself. But before I leave you, please do remember something important. Your university doesn't define you. Your grades do not define you. Your future job title does not define you. What will define you is your character, your word, your obraz, as we would say in Serbia, your integrity, your work ethic, the way you treat other people, your spouses and your children, and your willingness to keep learning, a lifelong love for education long after today. Above all, every single one of you bright ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, being authentic, loyal, and valuable young individuals. And this brings me to the criteria for the award of academic excellence. This award exists because excellence deserves to be recognized. Talent deserves opportunity. Hard work deserves the utmost respect. And education remains one of the most powerful forces for improving both individual lives and society as a whole. Now, I'm not a liberal. I'm, how shall I say, not an imperialist. But one positive thing I carried from the United Kingdom that is not without a reason, that both worst and best elements of human civilization can be witnessed where I am studying, and hence the two main experts of the country are education and English language on one hand, and unfortunately illicit drugs and substances on the other hand. You are mature enough by now to distinguish what is ethically right versus ethically wrong. Thus, I encourage you and pledge that you should align your actions to reach your goals, remaining loyal to your moral and traditional values. Cut out the noise and embrace the signal to go out into the big and cold world and return to your roots subsequently to serve faithfully to the motherland which brought you up. And looking around this room, I see a generation with enormous potential, a generation that has achieved remarkable things, but most importantly, a generation capable of achieving far more than the mind can comprehend in the years ahead. 20 years from now, many of you will not remember every grade you receive. You'll not remember every exam question unless you're a passionate fanatic like myself who must concerningly confess that 3 years later, I still remember the details of my pure mathematics 1 exam with the circles, coordinate geometry, 4-part questions on trigonometry, and the 49 for an A threshold, and in a clear-cut manner distinguished a candidate who brute force memorized mathematical methods, and who at the end of the day had a genuine depth, conceptual understanding, and could apply this in the real-world context, such as we were insightfully taught using the fourth derivative to model aircraft engines, and Gottfried Leibniz patenting the calculus, which is so definitively the foundation of our modern civilization. You may not even remember every university offer, but you remember the interactions and the warm and lovely friendships. You remember your teachers. You remember the moments that changed your life. And you will definitely remember being here tonight. Class of 2026, congratulations. We are proud of you. My dear comrades, I shall see a vast majority of you guys in London, and I can't wait to unravel the wonders of Maddox together. Thank you. And I wish every and one of you every success, lots of love and life, luck and success in all of your future.